Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And I just wanted to jump on here because other day I listened to the Dan Rooney interview, and just as a long time Pittsburgh Steelers fan, it was um I don't know if I could say sickening. It wasn't that bad, but it was just kind of sad. It was sad. It was sad to hear the way he was speaking, and just just listening to him is just like, you know, pretty much letting the Steeler fans know that, I mean, mediocrity is what the Steelers are going to be. Um, just I'm not even going to say the excuses that he was making, but just the fact of not really moving forward when you had an opportunity. It don't really seem like you're holding people accountable for just doing their job. I mean, not nothing special or anything, just people doing their job. Like I say, um, I mean, we already know Mike Tomlin is going to be back, and so really can't get into beating that up. But at the end of the day, when you say the Chicago Bears called, and you just shot that down even before listening to what they had to say. Even though at the end of the day, Mike Tomlin has a no trade clause in his contract, which, I mean, how did you end up giving that to him? Um, like with my title, I basically said the Steelers are living in the world of fear of change, and I felt like you had an opportunity to make that change. Again, if you could have made that deal with Chicago, I I truly believe you would have jumped. The Steelers would have jumped right the top of the list of maybe having a chance to hire Ben Johnson. I mean, that would have gave you one of the brightest up and coming head coaches. But I'm quite sure he still would have been the offensive coordinator, or at least definitely the play caller. That would have gave your offense, what's needed in this league now, just some to be creative and hopefully, score some points. This mess that the Steelers are playing now, trying to, well, let's score, you know 17 points, and we can maybe win 17-14 and win with our defense. No. um the way this league is built now, this league is built for the offense. And how many teams out there is really putting that much money into that? I mean, ain't not granted, you do need a good defense. You do need a good defense to win a championship and be a winning team. But with that said, you can't just put all your money with your defense, and this is an offensive driven league now. That's to me, that that's crazy. Like that's I don't know. It's, I don't know what to say about it. But again, Mr. Rooney, just listening to him speak, it's this team is not. I mean, the Steelers may be a team that can still win, 9, 10 games, but that's where it's going to end. And again, I'm not really even going to get all on Mike Tomlin, because that, like I say, at this point, we know he's going to be back, but um, to keep it real, Mike Tomlin has gotten arrogant. I I feel like he's arrogant now. I feel like I still now. again, like I say, I still believe Mike Tomlin is a great coach, but I also believe that he's the type coach that needs to be more of a CEO type. What I mean by that is, I mean, granted, you're running the whole team, but you're not really calling the defense. Even though that he's more of he's a defensive coach, so I expect him to put his have more influence on the defense. But at the end of the day, you hire a defensive coordinator that you trust, and you let him do his job. You let him run the defense, while you, as a CEO type, can run the team. While you can, because I don't care what team it is, you're always gonna have little fires that need to be put out, and you this player here needs a talking to. And I think when it comes to that, I think Mike Tomlin is good at that. Mike Tomlin, if he was a salesman, he would be the best salesman ever. I mean, just look at Mr. Rooney. Art Rooney. He has him. He got him wrapped around his finger. But that's Mike Tomlin, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like I say, by him being the CEO, you let your coordinators coordinate. You let them run the offense. If you look at Dan Quinn, Dan Quinn is a defensive guy, and like I say, I'm quite sure he has his hand on that defense a little bit, or he's going to make decisions, as far as the defensive side. But I think with that offense, he's not really messing with that offense. I mean, granted, now as being the head coach, if they want to, because they go for it a lot of times on fourth down. So I'm quite sure when it comes to those type things, he's putting his input of okay, go ahead and go for it. No, I think we should punt here or whatever. I'm quite sure he's doing that, but for the most part, he's not telling his offensive coordinator, you know what, we're just gonna uh, try not to make no mistakes, keep the game close, and we'll win it at the end. He's not doing that, and I truly believe that's what Mike Tomlin is doing, and he's not surrounding himself. He's not surrounding himself with, I think, the coaches that he could, that he can just let those guys coach. I mean, Arthur Smith, to be honest, I really don't have no problem with him. And like I say, the Steelers' offensive play calling was so bad last year. Anybody with a pulse could have did better than what was going on last year. So Arthur Smith, yes, he runs a pro ready type of offense, but to me, that offense that he runs is still not. When I was looking at these championship games, the Steelers' offense is not that, and I do understand, to be fair, the type quarterback. I mean, the quarterback position has a lot to do with it, but still, though, I mean, the Steelers are so easy to game plan against. When they're under center, they're running the ball 80% of the time. When they're in shotgun, they're throwing the ball 60, 70% of the time. I mean, it's simple. It's so simple. I think a defensive coordinator, when they know they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, hey, we just gonna be in our base offense, our base defense, and we just gonna go at it, because they're so predictable. They're so easy to figure out, and I just think that the Steelers had an opportunity to make some changes, and even the fact that, okay, Mike Tomlin's a stand. I still believe at some point Mr. Rooney had a chance to put his foot down and just tell Mike, like, listen, if you're gonna stay as the coach here, this is, you need to kind of give up messing with the defense, messing with the offense, and just worry about the team, and in general. And I just feel like that's not happening right now. And I just, like I say, I just think the Steelers are just in fear of change. I think Art Rooney probably feels like if I let Mike Tomlin go, um, he's gonna be a Hall of Fame coach, and it's gonna look bad on the Steelers that we let a Hall of Fame coach leave. No, it won't. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They had Andy Reid. They got to Super Bowl with Andy Reid. But at some point, they just can't, they came up with, hey, Andy, this ain't working. This ain't working. We're gonna have to let you go. And look, yes, Andy Reid went on and went to Kansas City, got blessed and got one of the greatest quarterbacks. And he's in the Super Bowl, like it seemed like he's in the Super Bowl every year. But guess what? Since Andy Reid has left, Philadelphia has been in 3 Super Bowls. So I want to say they've been in 3 Super Bowls in the last 8 years. Who wouldn't take that? And they was able to, hey, let Andy Reid go. So, like I say, I'm not gonna really harp on that because, like I say, we already know Tomlin is gonna be here, so it don't make no sense of really getting into that. But like I say, my thing is this situation Steelers are in, and so now you got to deal with the quarterback situation. So my thing is, even if I'm Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, do I really want to come back? Do I really want to come back? I mean, now obviously, if you don't have anywhere else to go, or it's just a terrible situation, yeah, you're gonna come back to Pittsburgh. But do you want to really come back to this when you know that, hey, at the end of the day, the offensive coordinator, yeah, we might scheme up some things and we see some different things we ought to do, but the head coach is not going to allow him to do that. So the head coach is limiting him into the plays that he can run or call. And so if he's limiting him, that's limiting the quarterbacks. So, I don't really think my personal feeling is I don't think it's a big guarantee that Wilson or Fields be back. You know, I know the Steelers could sign either one of them before free agency starts, but I definitely think both of those guys want to go into free agency and see what's out there. And I believe if it's better opportunities, I don't think neither one of them will come back. And then, to be honest, if that happens, this team is really going to be in some big time trouble. So, like I say, it was just listen to that press conference to me was just so discouraging. It was just I don't know. I just as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, it was almost a gut punch, almost letting you know that this team is a long way from really doing anything serious in the playoffs. And I don't know. I don't I don't really know where they go from here. I mean, we know where they go from here, but we'll see what they do in the draft. Um, we'll see see what happened with these quarterback, this quarterback situation. Um, but again, I don't really know what to say. I just know that was very disappointing. And if you get an opportunity, you need to look at that interview and you'll see what I'm saying and you'll feel the same way. But I think part of the problem is Art Rooney. I really do. I I really do. And like I say, when you got your leadership with that type of attitude, you know, it just filters on down. And I think right now that's the situation that the Steelers are in. That's the situation that they ain't put themselves in. So for now, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys later. I got some stuff. I'm working on some stuff with the mock draft. But like I said, before I really go into my mock drafts, I want to do some things with the free agency and see, some players that I think the Steelers probably can, try to sign. And that's going to affect their draft. So until then, I will talk to you later.